When I was little, my father was famous. He was the greatest samurai in the empire. He cut off the heads of 131 lords. He was the greatest samurai in the empire. And he took me with him.
Hey everybody, sorry for the delay in updating you all. My internet connection was pretty garbage until now, so I opted to go out and do a little bit of exploring. But first off, if you look at the description, you'll see that there's a link to the KML file from my Bad Elf GPS, which anyone can load into Google Earth or Google Maps or another program and get the flight path and all the information. There's also a link to a CloudAhoy debrief where that KML file has already been imported, and you can check out all the info gathered by that GPS. Airspeed, altitude, tilt, and direction, more than you can handle. But the important thing is, I was able to track the plane's location by GPS the entire flight. There's a particularly silly globe denier claim that GPS means ground positioning system and doesn't work over oceans, and specifically that it doesn't track flights in the southern hemisphere, either because the oceans are too wide and the planes get out of range of the ground towers, or they don't want people to see that they had to go in a different direction or something lame like that. But there it is, GPS the entire flight. That's one globe denier claim shot down. That GPS data will show that the plane flew in a completely different direction than a direct route would be on a flat Earth fantasy map. At some point, I hope to plot that route on that fantasy map just to see how far it would be if that map was reality. As it stood, the flight was pretty long anyway. 13 hours and 28 minutes according to the pilot. I haven't checked the exact GPS data yet. After that, I had a 4-hour layover in Sydney that turned out to be like 5+ hours as someone got sick right before takeoff, and we had to taxi back to the terminal and then get them off and then get their baggage off before the 4.5-hour flight from Sydney to Perth. So, whew. Oh, by the way, I do have all the GPS data for that leg of the flight as well, but it's a local flight and there's not much controversy there, so not worried about that. Now, I'm going to try to keep this short, but I just wanted to show you some of the things that I have here for this venture. Let's do a quick breakdown of the tools I have here. Well, first, most importantly, we have T'Challa and we have Shuri, because they are the scientists and I have to bring them for the science to get done. Let's see, we have iPad and a laptop. We have the P1000 that was rented just for this occasion, just for 2 weeks, just for this occasion. Extra batteries. This is my personal Sony AX100 4K. And let's see, we have IR pass-through filter and a solar filter. We have a high-powered flashlight. I believe this one does 6,000 lumens. I think this one does 3. It's my personal self-defense tool. This is the one I carry at all times. Let's see. Here's a little contraption I built. I set up myself. Something that I'll show you guys later. Hopefully it'll work out. It'll be fun. Let's see. We also have a scale and a kilogram of weights, because at some point during this trip, I might be closer to the equator and I'd like to test out the way centrifugal force changes gravitational pull. Sorted. We have some things there. Oh, then we have 2 Bad Elf GPSs. This is my personal one, and this is one on loan from Wolfie. Plus these suction cups. I adhere these to the window of the plane, and then I hang this from there. Then I just leave it that entire time, and it always stays in contact. That's how I've been getting away with that. Let's see, we have some ice because those planes are killing my knees. And, oh, we have a follow-up to an earlier experiment. So we have these 3 compasses. I don't know if you remember which one's which. This is the southern hemisphere compass. This here is the world needle, so it can work at any point, any place on the earth. And this is the northern hemisphere compass that I had. Now let's look at the southern hemisphere compass. Now I can't get too close. Let's see if I can just do a zoom here. If I get too close, I start to affect it because the camera is magnetic. But as you can see here, that needle is doing just fine. Here we are in the southern hemisphere, and it's doing just fine. And this world needle also is doing just fine. But hey, our northern hemisphere compass, odd, the needle seems to be pointing upwards. Interesting. Now, if you recall, the southern hemisphere needle was pointing down when it was in the northern hemisphere, and now the northern hemisphere needle is pointing up when it's in the southern hemisphere. So that's my compass claim confirmed and the globe denier's GPS claim denied. I'll stop with that, and I'll try to get some sleep so I can get up and get a quick workout in the morning before making some observations. I'm going to go live in about 12 or 15 hours. I'll give you all as much notice as I can before I do. You know, I rarely say this, but if you want to keep track of everything I'm doing here, your best bet is to subscribe and hit that little bell to get notified. But whether you do or not, I appreciate you coming along for this little ride with me. All right, people, try to learn something about the world today that you didn't know yesterday. Try to help someone else to do the same, and try to enjoy yourself while doing it. Take care.
That's my job. That's what I do. I don't lose. I win. Is there no one on this planet to even challenge me?
Maybe you came by to congratulate